Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today's project is going to be a maxi skirt. You want to start by smoothing out as many wrinkles as you can, and then decide where you want the center of your spiral to be. And for this one, I'm doing an off-center spiral. I'm going to be using the microwave splatter guard and a hemostat. So if you noticed, I scrunched the material up on the table. I wanted to take the pressure off the center of the spiral. There's a lot of fabric there, so if you put too much tension down in the center, you could tear a hole in it. So you want to click your hemostat down on the first click. It does not need to be overly tight. And then you want to give it just 2 or 3 twists. And then with your opposite hand, you create the pleats and make the spiral. And you just go around and around doing this. And also, if you noticed, I sort of pull the fabric out and then around. And I just keep going until I can't go any farther using the splatter guard. Then I will unclick the hemostat, hold down the center of the spiral, and gently wiggle the hemostat out. Now keep in mind, I have this on fast forward to save on time, so I'm not going this fast. Now, if you don't have a microwave splatter guard and a hemostat, you can do this the good old-fashioned way. You just pinch it up with your fingers and twist, and then you'll have a spiral. Now, if you go back and look at tutorials from the beginning of my YouTube page and look at those spirals in comparison to how they look now, I prefer this look much better. I just like clean lines, and the microwave splatter guard does that. So now I'm just going to simply secure the project by using my stretched out favorite rubber bands. And how they became stretched out is I applied heat to a previous project, and these particular rubber bands don't go back to their original size. So I just rinse them off and I set them in their own container, and they work perfectly for large projects like this. Next, I like to tighten up my spiral. It just helps. If you have to pick it up, move it, flip it, anything like that, you have a better chance of it not falling apart on you. So I just pull on the loose tails and I tuck them into the nearest rubber band. I like to mark up my pattern using a washable marker. Now, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm following the rubber bands, so I grab another color. If you do this, you want to make sure that you draw your lines intersecting through the center of the spiral. Now it's time for the fun part, and my favorite part. We get to add the dye. And for this particular project, I'm going to be doing an 8-color spiral. So I'm just going to be adding the dye in the pieces of the pie that I marked out, or closely following it. Now obviously you can see that I have some type of an assembly line going on here, but for today's project we're only going to focus on the maxi skirt. If you're brand new to tie-dyeing and new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Check to make sure that you've clicked the subscribe button and then turn the bell and set it to all. go into your device settings and turn on notifications for YouTube. That way you won't miss any of my uploads. I've been uploading really regularly lately, and I've been noticing, well, I'll just tell you what happened. So Bo, you guys have seen him, those of you that have been around for a long time. I grabbed his phone and I looked, and he doesn't watch my tutorials. And that hurts my feelings because, well, that's another view that I could have, right? So he's not getting notified because when I upload so regularly like this, what it does is it puts the new video up, and then you guys don't even know that I have uploaded. So what I do recommend is that you go actually to my YouTube channel and look at uploads, and there might be some that you've missed. And you could also just not be interested, and that's fine too. But all of you check to make sure that you're subscribed, turn your bell to on. And so, like I said, welcome to the channel. I'm happy to have you here. And for those of you that have been consistently following along over the last couple years, you know, I really, really appreciate it. You guys have kept me going. Sometimes I get burned out on tie-dyeing, but I keep going because you guys leave me wonderful comments. And that's another thing I want to touch on real quick. Comments. I see your comments, but I'm also at work, so I can't take the time to reply. And then at the end of the night, I'm so tired, you guys, that I crash out. But I want you to know that I do see your comments, and if it's a legitimate question, I always try to answer those for sure. And I do try to answer the comments, but you know, I have fallen behind. I appreciate the comments. It's necessary that I have participation on the channel. It's a whole YouTube algorithm thing. And I've always been very upfront with you guys about this type of thing. So, you know, I need your participation, which keeps me motivated to keep participating, and then we all win. So thank you so very much to all of you. I'm happy to have you here. Oh, and one more thing. If you don't know, I do have a Facebook group, and it's called Belladonna Dyes Community Tie-Dye Group. And you can find a link for it down below in the description box. It's the first link that is right underneath the Etsy link. And then the other Facebook link goes to my business page. And if you want to follow there too, that would be awesome. You may notice that I do not have any of the items sitting on a rack because what this is called is a Muck icedye, and this is more geared for people that are brand new to tie-dyeing. So what's going to happen is I'm going to add ice to this, and I'm going to let the ice melt, and the projects are going to soak in that melted ice water, and it's just full of dye and scary goodness. And what I mean by scary goodness is it gets dark, and you really do worry, like, oh my gosh, you know, is the project going to just turn black? No. And I cannot explain to you why it doesn't turn black, because it's like magic or something. But I always say, trust the muck. Set it and forget it. And really, you do have to, in muck we trust, because it works. It'll create a really cool effect, kind of like dark lines running through the project. And you'll see at the end. It really does work out, and it's super cool. Next, I give the project a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure, and this is just to help keep the pH up around 10.5 to 11 so the procion dye can react with the soda ash and bond with the natural fibers. And for this project, I want to say I ended up using 3 bags because this is one of my long totes, you know, the type that go under the bed. So I cleaned out the freezer on this one. And so like, look at how freezer burned that ice is, but it worked out just fine. And then you want to let the project batch at 70 degrees or higher for at least 24 hours. And I can tell you that these batched for almost 3 days. I was just too busy to rinse them out, and look, they turned black. It's terrifying, I know, but just stay till the end. For the rinse out, you want to start by using cold water to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric and then increase the water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. So the cold water removes the soda ash, and then the hot water removes any unbonded dye. That way it goes down your drain, or if you rinse out in your yard, it goes into your yard and not into the washing machine, creating a bunch of mucky water. Once it's in the washing machine, I like to use Kirillon, and that is a professional textile detergent. And then I like to do a final hot water cycle using Millsoft, and Millsoft is a professional fabric softener. And I get both Kirillon and Millsoft from Dharma Trading Company. And I do have links for them down below in the description box with everything else that I use for tie-dye, so go ahead and check that out. And then I'll dry it and we'll see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our maxi skirt, and I think this thing turned out beautiful. I'll even admit, for a minute there, I was a little bit worried at how dark it was, but see, in Muck we trust. Trust the Muck. So you see those little dark lines that are running through, let's say, like the yellow, you can really see it, even there in the turquoise. That's from the Muck water. It's a beautiful, bright, cheerful rainbow. And I know you guys see me make rainbow spirals all the time, but I am trying to fill up my Etsy with things that people actually want. Now, I just want to show you, I made 2 skirts at the same time there, and I know you guys like to see me be human. Look what happened. Yep, I tore a hole in this one. So what's going to have to happen, because I don't sew, I'm going to take it to a seamstress, have her repair it, and then when it goes on Etsy, sadly, I'm going to only be able to sell it for basically cost because it's damaged. And I've seen you guys in Facebook talking and asking questions about that. It's okay to sell something that has a hole in it, but you need to be upfront and honest. I don't think it's going to ruin your brand if, whoops, you have a hole. I haven't had a hole in my project since, I first started using this bladder guard. So I must have just been heavy-handed with this particular project. But look at how beautiful that is. I'm just in love with this skirt. I wish it was in my size, but it's not. So overall though, what do you guys think? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing!